Can you remember a time from your first job until today when in some way your career wasn't blocked or stopped by racism?
It started even when I was a kid, about 12 or 13 years old. There was a farm down in Lee Summit, Missouri, and they would come into the inner city and pick up black kids to take them to detassel corn. It was hybrid corn, male and female corn, and so they would pick up 15 to 20 of us and take us down there, and we would. It was in the summertime, and so one morning I heard this, the owner say, we were all waiting to be taken out on our trucks to the various fields, and he said, if there was one of those N's out there, use the N-word, that could do this, I could relieve you talking about the foreman and let you come back here and let that N lead the block. So I heard that. Well, that evening I came home and I called Ms. Daisy Trice Adams, who was my former school teacher. I said, Ms. Adams, I told her what had happened. So she said, well, let me look this up in the encyclopedia. I didn't, She did, and she called me back. So I took notes. So the next morning when I went back, I said, I went in and I said, could I talk to you? There's a bunch of all white male in the office. And I said, could I talk to you, Mr. whatever the owner was? I said, I heard what you said yesterday. And I'm going to go to college to study horticulture. And I know about hybrid corn. So he said, you do? And everybody laughed. He said, well, and he looked at the fellow who was our foreman. He said, well, this boy is going to put you out of business. They laughed. So he took me out in the back of the farmhouse there, and I demonstrated. So they put me in charge. Well, right then, when I heard what he said. If I fast forward further, I was working. Now I'm an adult now. I Ford Motor Company, and at that time we were building B-47 bomber wings out at Claycoma, and none of us who were black were on the assembly line out there, and we were all custodians, and we gave our names sanitation engineers. But then when they closed the Ford plant over in northeast Kansas City and moved, then it began to change. Then I left there, went to another job, but it finally ended up with the police department in 1954. And then I really saw racism, not only in terms of what was internal, in terms of between black and white, promotional opportunities, but also in terms of what was on the streets, how white officers were treating black males in particular in the community. And then there were only two districts that black officers could ride. And up until just a few years before I came on, if you were a black officer, you couldn't arrest someone who was white. And Lloyd DeGraffenreid Reed Sr., the late Graffenreid Sr., was being interviewed by the Board of Police Commissioners. And after they finished that, they asked him, oh, Lloyd, anything you want to ask us? And he said, I want to know if I can arrest anybody. And so Lloyd said they looked kind of strange at each other. He said, well, excuse us for a moment. When they came back, they said, yes, you can arrest anybody. So when I came on in 54, you would arrest anybody. But we're still segregated in terms of where we could work.